Shalom, one more time, and you are welcome to the Parashat of this morning. The Parashat that we're discussing about this morning is Parashat ethḥannan, and I subtitle it, What Does It Take to Love God? What does it take to love God? I'll ask you, right? I say, a good Jew answer question with a question, right? What does it take you to love your husband? What does it take you to love your wife? What does it take you to love your children? And now, if you can answer that question by yourself, now me, I'm asking you now, what does it take to love God? What does it take to love Him? Now, here, O Israel, Adonai, our God, Adonai is one. And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart and with all your soul, which is your life force. Our soul is our life force. And with all your strength. That is, we read that this morning in the Parashat of this morning in the book of Deut chapter 6, verse 4 to 5. Now, many pages or many books and volumes have been written about the first verse of the Shemaː Israel. But in the comparison, little attention has been placed upon the second verse. We only see the first verse, which is Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Everybody knows about that. But the following sentence, the second portion, the second part of this, very low attention is being placed upon it. At face value, we are commanded to love our God with all our heart, with all our life force, which is our soul, and then with all our strength. But what does it take actually, or what does this thing actually mean? What does it actually take for you to love God? What does it take? You are going to start beginning to think about that in your heart. In order to gain accurate insight into the intention of the Torah, or the writer of the Torah, we must not only possess the knowledge of the biblical Hebrew, but we must also understand the mentality and the philosophy behind that language. In other words, their mindset. So for us to understand this very, very deep, we need to transfer our mind to 4,000 years ago. Remember, the way they think, the way they reason is absolutely different from the way we reason and think now in the 21st century. Remember, everything that was wonderful and good, and everything that was moral at that time, now is no longer moral. The world is upside down. So for us to understand what this verse is actually talking about, we have to transfer our soul all the way back to the desert, when our forefathers were given this world. So let's look at, for example, let's take love, for example. What is love? Right? The Torah commands us to love the Holy One, blessed be He. However, the commandments of the Torah are very practical in nature. And yet, love, we think of it as being an abstract concept. Love is practical. It's not some kind of abstract concept. Because if I ask you, how do you love? You say, hey, love it, boo, 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 boo. No, that is not love. That is infatuation. Because the infatuation will burn off, and when it burns off, the reality comes back. There is a begin to look, oh, I thought this man is a good man. Oh, I thought this woman is a good woman. Oh, so it's too late now. But it's all infatuation. So now the Torah is telling us it is not about an abstract concept. Love is tangible, it's practical thing. But in biblical thought, love is seen as being something practical. And we can see that in the book of II Chronicles, chapter 19, verse 2. It is said to Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, he who is evil, you hate. And those who hate the Holy One, blessed be He, you love. There are two parallel halves to this verse. And by creating the parallelism, the writer intends to reinforce the synonymous meaning between hate and love on one hand, and between he he who is evil and those who hate the Holy One, blessed be He, on the other hand. Thus, love is equated with helping. In the book of 1 Kings, chapter 5, verse 15, it is written that Ḥiram always loved David, and to be placed within the context of the passage, this phrase signifies that Ḥiram was always helpful and beneficial to King David. So love, in one sense, is practical, is beneficial, and it is to act, to assist, to help. Again, in the book of II Chronicles, chapter 26, verse 10, it is written concerning King Uzziah, that is King Uzziah of Judah. And he built towers in the desert and dug many wells, for he had much livestock, the Torah said, both in the Shephelah and in the plain, farmers and bench dresser in the mountain and in Carmel, and he loved the soil. The word for he loved the soil indicates that King Uzziah or King Uzziah was beneficial to the land, in that he invested his effort in cultivating the land. Therefore, love in biblical thought donates, to be of use or to be useful, to be beneficial, to assist or to help. Thus, the Torah is not commanding us to feel something, but to do something, to be useful, to be beneficial, to be helpful. The Torah is not telling you to feel some kind of feeling, as we say, oh, love is a kind of feeling. No, it's practical, it's tangible, it's doable. So, to rephrase now, in conclusion, to rephrase, and you shall love Adonai your God, means to be beneficial to him, to help and to assist him in his work. In order for us to be useful and beneficial to the Holy One, blessed be He, we must apply all of our heart, all of our soul, which is our life force, and all of our strength. So, how do you assist God in his work? That is the question now. In following the Torah, the mitzvot, in assisting your fellow man. If you don't help your fellow man, how can you help God that you don't see? Right? It's a question that you have to answer. Oh, I love God, I love God, I love God, oh, everything, hallelujah, hallelujah. Good. But the man who is on the street, who is homeless, I will help. Can we just render help? A fellow friend comes and says, please, can you share me a bread? Can you share your bread? Or you go and tell him, oh, sorry, I don't have the bread. Go and pray, God will answer you. No, God has already answered that prayer because you have the bread. I'm not saying give him all your bread. No, you can share. Keep the rest. Share. Right? And God that sees your heart and the intent of your heart will multiply that one that remains. And people, we don't understand, we don't see that many times. That we have to understand the principle of the Torah, that the law is doable. It's not a feeling. It's not an emotion. No. It's not feeling. It's action. It's something doable. So, understanding that now, let's go to the concept of heart. Let's see that. What does it mean in the Torah, that word, heart? In Hellenistic Western thought, the heart is seen as the seat of emotion in the Hellenistic understanding, in the Greek understanding. However, in the biblical thought or in the Oriental thought, the stomach is the seat of our emotion. Probably because when one becomes nervous, we feel butterfly in our stomach, right? When you become very nervous. The heart, on the other hand, is the seat of intellect. When the Torah talks about the heart, the Torah does not talk about it. No, it talks about here. This is our heart. Not this one. We see, in many emojis, you see, they put something like this, like the heart. You say, hey, this is love, this is the heart. No, this is the heart in the biblical term. is the seat of your intellect. That is, your understanding, your thought, and planning. As it is written, did not the Holy One, blessed be He, give you a heart to know, and eyes to see, and ear to hear until this day? Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 3. In the English term, in English, to be heartless is what? Is to be without feeling. That's what they say. Oh, this man is heartless. I don't know how they say it in French. No, it's the same like that. This woman, she's heartless. Meaning, oh, she has no feeling. Or she doesn't feel like who others feel, right? But in Hebrew, it has the meaning of being a fool. This man is fool. That he doesn't have understanding. He's dumb. That's what it means. And Ephraim said this, and Ephraim shall be like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt. They go to Assyria. In the book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 11. That's what God said about Ephraim. Because he said, oh, Egypt shall save me. Oh, maybe perhaps Assyria will render me what? Assistance and help. Not knowing that your help is from the Holy One, blessed be He. Not a man, not a horse, not a nuclear bomb, not a rocket, but in the Holy One, blessed be He. The heart is thought, the organ of thought. And the Holy One saw that the wickedness of man was great on the heart, and every imagination of his thought, of his heart, was only for evil continually. Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. So you can see that heart is not this one, but this one. This is what God is talking about when God talks about the heart of a man. Not your emotion. No, but your intellect. Thus, heart in the verse, and you shall know today, and you shall let it to your heart, that the Holy One, blessed be He is God in the heavens above, and on the earth beneath. There is no other. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 39 implies with all of our intellectual understanding. With all our intellectual understanding, we shall know that the Lord our God is God in the heavens above, in the earth beneath, and there is none beside Him. And there is none that can equate himself or herself to Him. He is alone reigning in splendor. So once you have that understanding and you have that knowledge that He alone is God, no any other being, no any other creation, no any other God that can penetrate into your life, because you have that understanding. Nobody can come and deceive you and say, oh, no, I can. This word is open to interpretation. No, it's not open to any interpretation. You have to understand that, because they will tell you, this word that God said, it can be interpreted this way or that way or this way. No. It cannot be interpreted in such a way, because it is defined, it is straight, it's not crooked. His word is always straight. So you cannot now come and say, I want to interpret it in this way. I understand. Some of you might have a question, say, okay, the Torah can be interpreted in 70 different ways. Those words, yes, I understand that. But when God said, the Lord, when Moshe gave us the Torah, said, the Lord your God, the Lord is one. Because okay. How can I make that Lord God one? Okay, can I have 3 gods and I combine them together and make them one? Okay, can I have 10 gods and forces them together and I make them one? It's one. It's okay. Or people are trying to take the attribute of God as individual gods, which it doesn't make sense. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. So now, in a nutshell, in conclusion, in the part of heart, with all your heart means with all our intellectual capability, understanding our thought and our planning. You shall understand and know that Adonai Elohim, the Holy One, blessed is He alone is God. Now let's go to the soul. Now what is the soul? Your soul is your life force. That is the energy, right? The spirit power the soul, right? The soul power the body, right? So now your life force, God is saying now, our sages, our wise men of old, our fathers are saying, this means with all your very being, with all your very being. Not this one alone, every part of it, everything. And even with our lives, if we find ourselves in a situation that will entail a choice between a martyrdom or a betrayal. Somebody come and say, okay, you have to denounce your God. You have a choice. Abraham said, I will not denounce my God. Right? The king said, okay, you don't want to deny God, I'll show you that I am alone is God. Okay, Abraham said, okay, you want to kill me? Okay, go kill me. And they made the fire. Right? A big fire. And they took Abraham, they threw him inside the fire. And Abraham was alive. The fire only did what? Burn the what do you call it? The rope they used to tie his hand and his leg. Well, just walking, hid in the fire. And Nimrod, look, so that was King Nimrod. I thought this guy is dead. But this guy is walking in the fire. What is going on here? They say, no. Okay, I'll look. Maybe that fire is not real. I'll break it. They say they put lions, 7 lions. They throw him into the lion's den, right? People think that it's only Meshach and Abednego. They put it. No. It's put Abraham first. They put Abraham inside the lion's den. The lion come and become like a cat. And they begin to rub their body, or he said, no. He said, so, you see, the only one that he is the one that created all these things. And Nimrod was so fearful. Yes, I know. The God of Abraham is God indeed. Because all the tests that Nimrod did everything, Nimrod, in his attempt to fail, to say to Abraham to deny his creator. The same thing, as I said, in the case of the 3 Hebrew men. So we can that even though it comes to the thought of martyrdom, right? So if you don't deny God, like in the world that we are now, very soon it's going to come to that. Because when you tell people that this is the way of the Torah, they look at you as if you come from, I don't know, planet Pluto. You know, that you are not at all from this planet. They say, where do you have this understanding? Because this is not true. Because they have been manipulated. Their mind has been programmed, reprogrammed to say that what is happening now is fine. The immorality is good. That is called civilization. What does civilization have to do with immorality? What is the equivalent of civilization and immorality? I don't understand. But now our immorality means civilization. That if you start to live the life of the old days, of the life of our father, they look at you that you are not from this planet. You are from planet Pluto. You are not a human being at all. And when you try to tell them this is what the way of the Torah, they will tell you go to another place with the Torah. They don't understand it. And I wonder sometimes, am I alone in this case? Because I don't understand how 100 years ago, even though some 60 years ago, these are human beings, men that stand firm in morality. What comes about within 60 years, between 50 years, everything just turned upside down. And we don't understand one another anymore. The children rise up against their parents. They can stand up and look their parents in the eyes. I remember in my days, you can't do that. You don't look your parents in the eyes. You can't. I can't do that. I talk to my granddad, I look down. It's a kind of respect that you have towards them. If I talk to my mom, when in the morning I come, you prostrate for your mom. You see, now children will even, it is the mom. I've seen many. It is the mom that will stand up, and the children will be sitting down. The mom will come, a 37 years old, will be sitting down. He won't stand up for the mama. And the mama will stand up by herself and say, "My son, sit down." I and they call that love. May God have mercy upon us in this world. Anyway, strength. Let's talk about this. Strength, the Hebrew word mo'od, which means strength. It's usually translated as strength or might. The word mo'od means very or much. Very or much, that's what it means. Thus, strength or might does not signify a physical strength or might, but all that we have, that is, with all there is to us. That's what he's saying. That is what he's saying. Which means all our possession, all our wealth, all our inner strength, not about the physical strength, but your spiritual strength. Therefore, the second verse of the Shemaː Israel can be rendered this way. And you shall be useful to, you shall be beneficial to, and assist the Holy One, blessed be He, your God, with all your intellectual capability, and with all your life force, which is your soul, and with all that is to you, with everything that consists you, about you, your family, your children, your husband, your wife. Because if you know the Torah from Genesis, from Bereshit to the Devarim, everything you can quote it off head, and you do not pass it to your children, is zero to you. Zero. Because your children know nothing about the Torah. It's a waste of time. So you have to pass the Torah to your children. It is a chain, a chain that cannot be broken, and they have to pass it to their children, and so on and so forth until the coming or the return of the Messiah. But if you don't do that, that it is only you that know everything, good luck to you. Go ahead if you think that is the best way. Because the Torah will die with you. The day they bury you, the day they bury that Torah. Finish, sitting in. But if you want to understand that this Torah will live after me, you have to pass it to your children. And they carry it on until the return of the Messiah. So, the Shemaː Israel is telling us this. It is practical. Love is practical. Love is not infatuation. No. It's not boom, 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 boom. I love her. Mama, if I don't marry him, I die. Mama, if I don't marry her, I quench. Okay. But by the time you see the true color of that chameleon, or of that, both men or women, you run back again to your mama. You say, Mama, Mama is always right. Mama is always right. Mama, I didn't understand. Oh, it's too late for you. While you are standing up, what you cannot see, when your mama is sitting down, your mama sees everything. You're a child, you don't understand. Your mama has long experience. And when your mama is passing the experience, when your papa is passing the experience, you say, Mama, you don't understand. This is the 21st century. Okay, go ahead with the 21st century. I'm telling you, your mama is sitting down there, she's not going nowhere. You will run back again to that mama and start complaining to that mama or to that papa. Say, I made a mistake. That even though if you have the conscience to come and say you made a mistake. But we have many children, they will never even come to that realization that they made a mistake. They will double down in the evil way. Right? So, the parasha of this morning is Parashat by ethḥannan, which means, and as subtitle I said, what does it take to love God? What does it take to love Him? We've given all this explanation. You have to answer that question by yourself. Shabbat Shalom.